Hey there all, this is Spartan077. I just wanted to say I'm glad to be back on YouTube, and I recently have had a few things with me where I haven't been able to participate like I would have. Um but yeah, I was looking at some of the stuff here that I had on the internet, and looking at a lot of the statistics here, and there's 6.6 billion people in the world. That's as of July this year. And apparently China and India both account for about 37% of the world's population. That's pretty crazy. Uh, America is the only one even near it, with 4.5% of the world's population at 300 million. Um, that was just something I found very interesting. It seems like that just so many people are being born in China, and they're even using the birth restrictions there too as well. India doesn't have that, so I would see India's population maybe surpassing that. Um, what else? I was looking. I was looking on here too. Like I'm using a lot of Wikipedia, so this information might actually be incorrect because I understand the kind of people that come on here and put up information here. Sometimes are retarded, sometimes are dumb, and really can't be trusted. A lot of some of the sources here though are very useful, like the CIA fact book. If somebody doesn't like America, then they probably wouldn't like the CIA fact book. Um, let's see. The World Trade Organization. You have what else? They had something else here. I can't find it. Oh, I will find it. Um, hmm. Well, that's stupid. Ah, my computer's freezing. That's not useful. Well, a lot of the stuff I did, I looked up on Wikipedia. A lot of the different things that I'm not very familiar with, like NATO, the Warsaw Pact, the GDPs of the world, you know, just how all these different countries in the world stack up in comparison to each other. And I find that America, my own country, is pretty great. I mean, I like my country. But looking at it overall, you know, it accounts for about 20% of the world's GDP total. That's pretty crazy. I mean, we have a lot of money. But I would say that, there are some places where it gets beat. Like I'm noticing apparently as far as armed troops, uh military of the United States only has like 1.5 million people in the armed forces, which if it did a draft, that would go up drastically. It probably would have about 25 million to 30 million people in there by that time. You'd have to take into consideration males that would be able to be drafted. Any kind of health issue, maybe they wouldn't be able to get drafted because they wouldn't be able to fight. A lot of people might plead homosexuality so that they can't go in. Um, they also take women as well. But a lot of it would have to do with like whether or not they would be fit to fight. Um, let's see. China has about, what's it? See, now I have to go and look it up because I didn't have it ready when I brought this to you today. And this is on Wikipedia. I've looked all of this different stuff up on the Wikipedia. So if you guys want to look at it and try and say that it doesn't exist, well, I even tell you the searches that I used. If you go to Wikipedia, you could look up U.S. Armed Forces, you could look up NATO, you could look up the Warsaw Pact, you could look up the United Nations, all that kind of stuff. And just look around, because I'm telling you, the statistics are there. Um, Not that I'm saying that, oh, they're reliable, but this is what I see as of now. I haven't compared it to anything yet, but this is just stuff I found interesting. United States has 1.4 as 1,426,000 active U.S. personnel. China is first with 2.25 million. And basically, if you added up reserve forces and paramilitary, China actually wouldn't be first. That was something I found pretty odd. Apparently, China does not have the largest military in the world if you include U.S. reserve forces and paramilitary. Now, granted, paramilitary usually aren't included, but if you include that, China is not the largest military. You would actually have a lot of different people beating it out. United States, I don't even think it has some of these, barely has a paramilitary. It only numbers up to like 53,000. But looking at it now, Iran actually has the largest military. But they include like 11.4 million paramilitary, which I don't know why that is the case. But as far as active personnel, India, United States, and China are up there. As far as total, Iran's actually first with that paramilitary number I quoted earlier. Vietnam actually has 10 million, or 9.5 million, I should say. But something I find rather odd. Oh, North Korea, 6 million active troops. Yeah, and South Korea is up there with 5.2 mil. That's because they still having a war there and they're just at a ceasefire. But everybody tries to say, oh, United States is a warring country and it just wants to, go to war with everybody. Well, let's talk about how many people actually decide to go into the military as far as total population. So, we look at these countries. Per 1,000 citizens, I'm looking at Iran, about 181 people out of 1,000 decide to go into the military. It's about 20% of your... That's 20% of the people that... like, 20% per 1,000. That's a pretty big number. How about Vietnam? Vietnam has 114 up there as well. A little, probably around 11 to 12%. China, 5.3. That's damn low. That's pretty low. 5.3. North Korea, 259.37. So 26% out of every 1,000 citizens. That's very high. South Korea, 106. About 10% to 11%. Russia, 23.56. United States, 9.46. Now, why is that? That's because United States population is not all that high either. You have about 300 million people in this country. China is about 5.3 per 1,000 citizens. And they've got how many people? 1.3 billion? So that's why their armed services outnumber us. I mean, everybody tries to argue that that number is considering, like, oh, China's not warring, but they have a whole lot more people. You need to take into account how many people are actually within the study. Let's see here. It's actually kind of sad. You see the people that participated in World War II. I'm not saying, like, oh, I wish they were still as strong as they would be, but France, Germany probably have about 700,000 troops each. France a little over 700,000. Italy, 534,000. Britain, 421,000. Where's Japan on here? I actually was looking for Japan earlier. Can't find them. Anyway, these are just a few things that I was looking at, and this video probably really sucks right now. I just did nothing but ranting here for a little bit, so I'm just glad to be back, and these are some things I looked at and figured would be very, very interesting. And people should look this stuff up, because guess what? This world is getting ever more hostile, and you just need to be able to take things into account.